Welcome to the Wild Simplicity podcast, the podcast for awakening women who are ready to shed the layers, let go of the clutter, and rediscover their wild and wonderful selves that lie beneath. I'm Anna Day, and together we'll explore how to simplify, release what's no longer serving us, and embrace the possibility of living fully in this one wild and precious life. Whether you're a dreamer, a seeker, or someone who craves doing things differently, this space is for you. Let's dive in and awaken the magic within. Hello and welcome back to the Wild Simplicity podcast. This is Anna, and today I wanted to talk about job descriptions for life, for living our own life. This came through to me the other morning when I was doing my morning pages, and I was thinking about all the rules and regulations and criteria and things that I put on myself and that we put on ourselves to live life. Like, we have these tick boxes we have to cross off, and it's like we have a job description and we're reading the job description and we're like, no, not quite yet. We have we meet some of the criteria, but not all the criteria, and we don't qualify for a lot of things. We need to get more qualifications to make sure we are good enough to live our lives as our human selves. And it's insane because we keep adding to the criteria as well. This job description is ever changing, it's ever evolving. We add to it to ourselves and maybe allow other people to add to it for us. And then we start to fill out this job application and realize, we need more. We need to be doing more. We need to be doing, be less of something, be more of something else, have more, certificates, qualifications, knowledge, before we were able to apply. So we don't even apply for the job. And it's really insidious because it keeps going. And these are things we've probably picked up from when we were children and decided that we needed to be a certain way other than ourselves and it was for good reason when we were kids, because we were young and vulnerable and needed to be kept safe by our caregivers, by our parents, by our teachers, by whoever, and created these stories and these ways, perceptions, and they have stayed with us and they become part of that criteria to be able to apply for this job, to be ourselves. And actually, none of it is needed. Like, there's no criteria to fulfill. There's no qualifications we need to be ourselves. And there's no passport, there's no citizen's card, there's nothing we need to be ourselves. Those things are obviously created by humans to be in a certain country, to move around the world, to show who we are, but we don't need that to be on earth living as ourselves. And because we live in a world where such things are created all the time, that we have to prove ourselves, that it's, there's exams, there's everything is done through proof of who you are, proof of how good you are, proof of what you can do, proof of what you know. And therefore we also spill that out into us needing proof that we are good enough, that we are worthy enough, that we are special enough, that we are unique enough, that we are enough to be ourselves in this world. And nothing is needed to be us, because by virtue of the fact that we're actually here at this moment in space and time, and we have been born into this world, that we are enough. There's no job description. We're allowed. We get a free pass. Here we are. And the trying to fulfill all these criteria all the time and creating new criteria, it's just exhausting. It's exhausting. And I was really tuning into what's the criteria I have for myself, and it's down to the minutiae. It's really in the everyday things about being a parent, being a partner, being a friend, who I need to be in the world, who I need to show myself as. There's so many things, and it's like, okay, well, who am I if I really pare back to connect into my soul, connect into the essence of who I am. And who is that Anna? Who is she? What does she want? What does she love? What excites her? What is she delighted by? Where is she pulled towards? If she can, get through all these layers of conditioning and stories and criteria and get into that real inside true essence. And I've had glimpses of that over the years, and it's that feeling of being able to do and choose as you please, and to know that we are a free being and that we can live our life. We can choose. And then with that, though, when we realize how free we really are, when we realize how limitless, how boundless, how the world is full of possibility, and how that is really available to us, it becomes quite scary. And those criteria then become a safer way of being in the world. And we draw back in those criteria to keep us safe and more so comfortable because we're used to them. And because when we really understand that we are free and we get to choose who we are in the world, what we will stand for, what we won't, what we allow, what we the way we allow people to treat us, the way we treat ourselves, the way we speak to ourselves. These are all inner workings, and that freedom within ourselves, when we realize that and we get a little inkling of it, it really opens up to everything, and we realize how we have obstructed ourselves and how we keep ourselves small, hidden, safe, under the radar, and all of that, not living as our true essence and into our true potential and who we are. So it's such like an evolution and a constant delayering of this onion of allowing ourselves to get to that essence of ourselves. But we then, zip up again and try and look for all that proof and more qualifications, and it's not needed. But the responsibility. So we realize then when we know how we can be free. We have that internal freedom, or it's available to us when we get the mind out of the way. And the mind is always going to be there, but we get the stories that we have created out of the way. Then we get to take responsibility, and that is heavy and scary. And it doesn't have to be. We can see it as the responsibility is often like, oh my God, a heaviness and a weight. But this responsibility is the power to choose, the power to be ourselves. And it requires us to take the driver's seat, to get into the driver's seat, no longer be in the passenger seat or in the back of the car, allowing fear to drive us, allowing our inadequacies to drive us. It's that we decide to take the wheel, and that responsibility is a lot sometimes because we're not used to it. We are used to acquiescing and to giving our power to somebody else to allow us to drive for our life. And I mean, we can continue to do that, but it tends, in my experience and in what I've seen in others, to get really, really bloody uncomfortable. Really, like I can no longer tolerate it. I'm exhausted, and to the point where it's like, right, I've had enough. I need to be living my life as me and from my own inner world and from who I truly am, because otherwise, what's the point? It's just, otherwise there's pain, there's constriction, there's we knock up against things, and it's really, really hard. So it becomes that point where the liberation is it fizzles up, and it's I mean, it's just, once you taste it and once you get that liberation and the freedom and the you see the possibility and potential in being a human on this earth, it is there's nothing but the opportunity to take that responsibility and to step into the spotlight of your life, to step onto the stage of your life, not allowing the understudies to take your role as the actor in your life, and for you to really to fulfill your given role. Because when we all play our given roles, then we all work in synergy with each other, and it's much more harmonious and really lovely way to live, because we're not trying to look at others and think, oh, they have the role I want, or I need to be this person for them. We can just be ourselves and play the role that we are given, that our soul wants us to play in this lifetime. And yeah, we can rip up that job description that we keep creating and keep refining for ourselves to be a certain someone, and yeah, rip it up, tear it up, get rid, declutter, and find that inner connection and that inner freedom, and tap into it. And if you can't even get near it, just ask for it to be shown to you, bit by bit, and look at the criteria that you are setting for yourself and that you have created, and that is holding you back, the things that are irritating you. Where are you feeling stuck? Where are you feeling irritated? Where are you feeling annoyed? Where are you feeling resentful? All those things are the key. Where are you feeling fearful? These are all the breadcrumbs to where your ultimate liberation is. So rip up the job description. There is no job application. You are living your life. You are able to do it right now. Start living it. Start living as you. And let's do it imperfectly, do it messily, and be as much of ourselves as we can in each moment. And without trying, just being. It's not something else to achieve. It's just allowing ourselves to be. So in all the wild simplicity of ourselves. Yeah. So if you want to simplify, I have a new masterclass out called Wild Simplicity, the First Step. And it is all about decluttering, letting go. I talk about language, decluttering your language, changing. So to do with this mindset and the mind, how we speak to ourselves, energy, all energy in the home, and how it really affects us, and it really can either deter us and slow us down, or how it can free us up and free energy in ourselves. So if we move energy in our home, we move energy in ourselves. It's all a reflection. So and I give some practical tips as well on how to get started decluttering and how to go about it. And yeah, it's on offer at the moment. If you're listening to this in present day, November 2025, it is on offer at the moment. You can go to my website and you'll find it, annaday.ie, or through my Instagram bio, you'll find it there as well. I also have a free offering, which is a PDF of some things you can get started decluttering as well. You can also get that through my Instagram bio. And in the meantime, yeah, just rip up the job description and allow yourself to be you. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining me on this journey to wild simplicity. If today's episode inspired you to let go, simplify, and reconnect with your truest self, I would love for you to share it and help spread the word. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode, and follow along on Instagram at Wild Simplicity for more inspiration. Remember, life is precious and you have the power to live it fully, freely, and fiercely. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep seeking, and keep embracing the wild possibilities of life.